What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be discussing something I don't normally talk about, and that is PvP, specifically Trials of Osiris. I'm sure a lot of you guys know I'm mainly a PvE guy. That's what I play, that's what I enjoy. So the fact that I'm talking about PvP means something important is going on. Well, let's get started. Now, what exactly is going on? Well, again, it involves Trials of Osiris and a little glitch that kind of lets you get almost infinite adept weapons. So, I know I'm not early to this, but I wanted to talk about the repercussions this is causing. But first, let's talk about the process in case you don't know about it. So what happens is that, firstly, you do need to go flawless within Trials. So, 7 wins, no losses, unless you have a mercy card, then you can lose one. I'm being facetious. So, you go flawless. You go to the lighthouse. You collect your flawless reward. In this case, it's the brand new Adept hand cannon that they just added for Season of the Seraph. So already, a lot of people were going to be out trying to get this weapon. Then, you can actually get a second one, and you could always do this by going back, talking to the Trials vendor, Saint 14, and turning in that flawless passage, as well as spending some resources to get another, again, adept weapon. But this weekend, what you can do is simply purchase another passage. For whatever reason, it's going to count as a flawless passage, and as you can see, as long as you have the Trials engrams, you can simply buy another adept weapon, and then buy another passage, and turn another Trials engram into another adept weapon. So I actually ended up with 4 Trials engrams, which means I had 4 different chances to get another adept Trials hand cannon. So, here is where things get really interesting, because obviously people discovered this, it started making the rounds on social media, and then Bungie helped tweeted out the following. We are aware of an issue where players were able to purchase multiple adept weapons with a single passage after going flawless in Trials of Osiris. We are currently investigating a fix and will provide updates when we can. Of course, everyone saw this and went, oh great, here we go. You know, Bungie only nerfs things that benefit the players, blah blah blah. People were like, get in it and farm when you can. But then they replied with this, quote tweeting themselves and saying, update, as we continue to investigate a fix for this issue, the ability to purchase multiple adept weapons will remain active over the weekend. Due to this, we have temporarily disabled the flawless matchmaking pool for the Sunday reset. So that's right, guys, if you're watching this video and you didn't know about this or you thought it was fixed, whatever, no. All of today and Monday, you can still go. As long as you go flawless one time, you can turn every single Trials engram into an adept weapon, which is significantly better than having to go to the lighthouse every single time in order to get those adept rewards. Now, of course, when people heard about this, they just went nuts, and the Trials population exploded. Let's take a look at the numbers from Trials report for the weekend before Season of the Seraph launched. As you can see, 110,000 players. Then, for this weekend, 170,000 players, and the weekend isn't even over. We still have all of today and tomorrow. I would expect this overall player count to be significantly higher by the time this weekend ends. Now, importantly, it is a little hard to compare in this fashion because the first Trials of a new season and offering a brand new Trials weapon, obviously that's going to do well even if this whole loot glitch wasn't in the game. But when all is said and done, I would really love to see the overall numbers and engagement and amount of people going flawless and new people going flawless and all of that stuff from this weekend compared to other, first Trials weekends of new seasons. I really think it'd be interesting because there's a lot of hype being generated for something that didn't seem like that hype-worthy before people learned about this. And I'm going to ask the question in this video, why isn't the loot system always like this? Now, I know, the pushback is going to be, well, if you just hand out these adept rewards this easily, it's going to devalue them and then everyone's going to have them, but I don't exactly think that's the case. you actually still have to go flawless, which is an achievement in and of itself. Not everyone is able to do so. Even just one time is a challenge for a lot of players, right? 7 wins in a row is not an easy thing. So that's already the first hurdle you have to overcome. Then you don't just get infinite rewards. They are actually based on Trials engrams, which only drop from leveling up your Trials reputation, which you get for actually playing Trials of Osiris. So you can go flawless just once and then farm for, several hours more. Even if you lose, yeah, you're gonna get Trials engrams, but you're still someone contributing to the player population, contributing to matchmaking. And we've seen over and over again that the player population dwindles significantly as the season goes on. And the last kind of argument I'm going to make here is that Destiny 1 did it. Destiny 1 kind of did exactly what is happening right now, because in Destiny 1, guys, which is often looked up as super fun memories, the pinnacle of Trials, people talk about how good it is. Well, when you went flawless in Destiny 1 and you got a Trials weapon, it was a static roll. It was the same weapon every single time. Your messenger, my messenger, everyone's messenger had the same exact roll. And people often don't talk about this. They did that for Trials. They did that for raids as well. Like, if I got a Fatebringer, it had the same roll as your Fatebringer, as everyone's Fatebringer had the same exact roll. They had static rewards for the harder activities in the game. So you literally in Destiny 1 would go flawless once, you would get, let's say the messenger, you would get your hand cannon, whatever, and you would be done. You would be done forever, right? You wouldn't need to keep getting random rolls over and over again until maybe you got the God roll. So I think it's very interesting that people would make the argument that, you can't have this glitch in the game, because then people would get the God roll and they would never play again. And yet, in Destiny 1, people would get the only version of a weapon for Trials and still keep playing. So I think that disproves that argument. People want to go into Trials and get, more weapons. People want to go and use their brand new God roll meant for PvP. So again, I think that this whole system of being able to buy adept weapons over and over and over again after you go flawless, as long as you have the resources and Trials engrams, wouldn't be that crazy of an idea. Maybe not every single time, but maybe Bungie could use this glitch, turn it into an actual feature for weekends where it's later in the season and the player population isn't doing too well, right? Like the last few weeks of the season, hey guys, guess what? Now we have unlimited buys of adept weapons, and then you'd see a big jump in the player population. People would be going in to actually try to fight against the massive RNG within the game. Because at the end of the day, like, I did this glitch per se, I didn't even get the God roll. Right? So I got way more adepts than I should have gotten, and I still am trying to go out there and hunt that God roll. Like, I'm still not done with this playlist, and a lot of people are going to fall into that same category. So I just don't think that making the RNG a little bit less aggressive, especially with something so rare and so valuable as an adept weapon, is that bad of a thing. But with all of that being said, my argument hinges on the numbers. I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. I want to see the player engagement numbers coming out of this weekend. How many people who don't normally play Trials, honestly like me, jumped in because specifically of this change to the loot system? If we see a significant increase in that, I think this is something that Bungie should toy around with. Again, maybe not a permanent change to this method, but using it to drive player engagements for weekends that need it, right? And if I'm wrong, and if the numbers don't show a ton of engagement, if it doesn't really change the usual population, then maybe another solution needs to be looked at. But Trials is definitely a little bit of a stale playlist. A lot of people who play it a lot have been complaining about it for a long time, and I think this is just an interesting thing that happened accidentally that could actually hold the key for something to rejuvenate this Trials playlist. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it interesting, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.